People.
So listening, pay attention. Oh, yeah.
You're looking for capitals?
John Bayley's in South Yorkshire, helping teachers refine their classroom skills. He's at the Fulston School near Barnsley, which serves a former mining community. Today, he's working with Nils Markle.
Right, let's get going, please. Come on.
Nils runs the alternative curriculum at Key Stage 4. Without the challenge of GCSEs, the class can be hard to motivate. John's sitting in on a programme of individualised learning, which focuses on developing social skills.
Yeah. Quarter half, one and a quarter, and this is your finishing for it.
Woo, Kelly.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, you've done that on the front title. You're choosing not to work, aren't you?
Oh, me?
No.
Yeah. I'm helping Ryan.
No, you're not trying.
I'm helping Ryan.
No, you're not helping Ryan. You're sitting chatting to Ryan. There's a difference.
Okay, no, I'll help Ryan.
And how are you going to help him?
I'm agreeing with him what to put in that and where to put pictures. Me and Craig aren't racing, yeah?
So you're getting away with this today, then?
Well, we put me down, it's not working.
No, I'm not putting you down as anything. I don't put you down. But I'm just saying, you're making that choice. That's your decision. Yeah?
You're choosing not to work. No, you're chatting. I'm putting you down as not working. I'm just saying you're choosing not to do it. But offering choice seems to be an important part of what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm. They've already made a choice in how to behave. And it's not always, in my opinion, the right choice. So therefore we try and steer them back onto what we see as the pathway to success. They don't always choose it, though. We do fail. Can you make the right choice to stop the shouting out? And you're ignoring me, and you're just showing yourself up. Now, that's not going to happen, please, OK?
You will say things like, now you're showing yourself up. No, I'll go to my cupboard, because when you get to that bottom drawer, you tear it apart. You know my criticism of your cutting, donkey's hind leg.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's going on all the time is a kind of conspiracy where these children are sort of encouraging you to share their view of their world.
Do one of these. Hello? That's really good. Nice one, Gareth. Could you do a poster on a computer?
Yeah, we're not up to much. And are looking for you to say things that might reinforce that. Does that happen?
On difficult days, anything can happen. I mean, from the face-to-face swearing at you and storming off to the me throwing them out to the me sending for senior management. Just let me have 5 minutes with him, OK? Without you interrupting. Yeah.
Let's look at the world of underachievement.
Degrees. I don't know what that
Low achievement activity tends to be characterised by an underlying stable belief that I'm not much good, I'm not going to achieve. So I avoid success-related tasks, anything that can be marked or graded.
So, do a chart. Use a chart. Why is that? Because you're not well.
Yeah, because I've got a bad
Try and... It's a good cough, that, Carrie.
No, but I'm not lying.
You know, sometimes these children are labelled as having low motivation.
Gareth, you're eating. Can you get yourself sat down and work, please?
An alternative way of looking at a lot of their behaviour is that they're terribly highly motivated to avoid failure. And they'll generate a terrific amount of energy in the classroom in order to do that. Part of the underlying theory here is that if you have a stable attribution of yourself as a failure, it's very difficult for you to take praise, because if the teacher says, that's a really good piece of work, you've shown me that you're clever, the child you're saying that to says, no, I'm not. I know I'm not clever, and therefore the adult who's talking to me is lying. And so you get the phenomenon of the child who's relatively resistant to praise.
I said she could do the cutting out, but then I'm going to give her those on a disc and show her how to put them on a page herself and label them on the computer instead of...
John wants Nils to be less controlling and allow students to set their own targets.
And that's going to be your attempt to do it in, however, and you know my criticism of your cutting out. Donkey's hind leg, yeah?
How much work do you do with self-setting targets?
We set targets with them. Students come up with their targets, but I do feel that we all the time are the ones that lead that process, rather than the ones that allow them to lead it. We're doing level 2, so it's before and after. So you're setting your target, that's what it was before, that's what you've achieved after. But you label them, you know, whatever it is. So this is the lawn, this is the flower bed with a nice purple shrub, this is a red thing at the front, whatever you want to label it, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to take them all and stick them onto pages. So that was my criticism of that. So you're going to carry on and do that with before and after and label them. I don't know enough about it to know whether I could lead that.
Well, you see, I
should go on a course about that.
Well, I think it's a piece of cake, or rather, it's just a question of having a bit of courage, because once you've got the idea that the learner needs to know in their own language where they are and where they're going next, 3 things get achieved. One is they've got some personal involvement in it. Secondly, you've got some script for what you're going to talk to them about when you sit down. And thirdly, when they offer challenge, you know, all the time I'm trying to drag you into my view of who I am. You know, I'm Nout. I'm crap. You know, I'm crap, really. Your answer is, no, you're not. Look at this. This is where we are, and this is where we're going next.
How long do you think it'll take this lesson? I doubt it.
And also, when we're faced with that negativity, we either get into jollying it along, or we get into snappy stuff, which is kind of human, like, you know, you're letting yourself down, which is true. But, you know, they don't need telling that. They already know it. But what else do you do in that moment? Well, I think what you do in that moment is say, I know, now here's where we are, here's what your plan is, here's how you work on it.
It's interesting. Because you would fail as many times as you would succeed with a group like this, then?
I'm not going to buy that, because I think children who have difficulty with achievement like it more, they like it disproportionately more, than children whose achievement is high, because you're taking them seriously.
John's come across another teacher who he feels could give Nils an insight into the benefits of self-assessment and personalised target setting.
Let's have a competition between Jenny and Luke, right?
Sharon Fountain is training her Year 8 class to recognise and work towards their own targets in French.
The Key Stage 3 target, if you look at the back of the lesson plan I've given you, that's got details of the school data I've got on these kids. Reading ages and spelling ages, Key Stage 2 information, mid-year scores, and then the various predictions we get from either mid-year or based on Key Stage 2 or Fisher Family Trust. And based on that, I've looked across and worked out what appears to be a reasonable target for Year 8 and what I call a target with challenge. In other words, what we could achieve if we were really having a good day and a good topic. Yeah. So the information I've transferred to the kids' files is those last the last 3 columns. The report they got at the end of Year 7, the target for Year 8, the target with challenge for Year 8, and just to show where you're going after that, what would be an acceptable target for Year 9.
Where's that?
You read it. What's your target for Year 8? 2C. You see it? Got it now? Right, Ben. You just got level 1 because you did level 1 phrase. What level did you get, Adam?
Number 1. I level 1.
What we're going on to today then is the first activity will be an OHT version of the 6 phrases with the pictures.
Put them on top of each other.
Yes, you can put them on top of each other, but you've got to not turn them over, you've got to read them backwards, you've got to mix them all up, match them all together, you've got to beat 45 seconds. On your marks, get set, go. There you go. He's had 10 seconds. Then from that, I'm going into projecting just the phrases without the images, and I'm going to ask them to tell me what the missing word is, and could somebody come and write it.
That's big.
Well done. That's it, give it time to come back to you. I can give you level 2 for that. Just look back how close you were.
Oh, yeah.
One letter wrong. It should have been L-E-V-E, but right, that's a level 2. Well done. You can have a look if you want to go for level 1, that's okay.
Oh.
They copy, it's level 1. If they're doing that looking, it's level 2. So it's breaking down the levels for them as to how easy a level 2 is to get in languages.
And you can observe that.
Right, well done, Jenny. It's so close, that's a level 2. The next one is I've got these phrases again, but this time I've got the phrases all mixed up. Okay. So it says je rentre à la maison, but they've got to pick them out and get them in the right order. Who can come and make that read something sensible in French? And well, if you can do that, that's actually level 3 reading. That's language manipulation. Right, one more. See if you were right. Very, very close. Fantastic. And then, oh, that was just level 2 you did. This is the way I approach it. It's we do it, and then I tell them what it is afterwards.
And they like it when you say level?
They've got the levels written there, they know, and they like to make progress.
They like to succeed.
Yeah, as everybody
That's
does. What level do you think Mark got?
Level 3.
What's your target, Mark?
2C.
And what you just got?
Level 3.
Level 3.
So, yeah, what we saw yesterday with Sharon was absolutely classic stuff. You know, children getting a grasp of their levels and then being coaxed towards them. And of course, she had a lot of other things up her sleeve, didn't she? All that interactive stuff. But it's far from rocket science.
For me, the interesting thing is, can we get that eagerness with a Key Stage 3, a Year 8 student, into the world where a lot of that enthusiasm has been knocked out of the students. You know, they're cool, they've got other agendas, they've got stuff, and Key Stage 4, and that's something that I want to explore.
I'd like to sit next to one or two of your students and say, OK, we're on this task. Tell me what the task is, tell me how you'll know when it's finished, and tell me what the next steps are. And see if they gave me that you've dropped out of a tree look, or if they were able to say it.
You do that. Can you do that? Are you happy to do that? Because they'll be happy for you to sit with them.
OK, and I'd be happy for you to do it too, and then we can compare notes at the end.
Yeah. So what do you want to ask? Say it again. What do you do next?
What is this task? How will you know when you finish the task? What will you be able to do when you finished it? Where are you now? And what are the next steps you need to take?
If you were to do that, while working together, who would you choose?
Reese. Probably Nicholas.
I noticed you engaging a couple of boys. Were you doing anything different? Were you?
I was trying to. I was seeing if I could coax out of them comments which I would normally feed into them.
And response?
Yes, they were beginning to think, and they were beginning to plan, and they were beginning to respond.
What would we do? Would we be starting from again?
What would
or
you
starting from mine? Or
You tell
starting
me.
from pluses?
You tell me.
Well, we're starting from the beginning and do it. We'll write it up what we're going to do then.
I was aware of how long I was sitting with them, and
That's why we need a structure, because you're not going to be able to create that out of conversational thin air.
without the spelling mistakes and stuff. Just the one to show that you could do all three, because I think they're lovely.
Can't spell.
It certainly made us think.